know about you guys, but whenever I see Vivian and all her little animations, for some reason, it actually makes me think of Storm from Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I don't know why, but I have to at least show you why.
Will you never learn? Now you encounter real power. By the power of Gaia! The power of the wind! Are you sure you are up to this? Lightning storm! Those who challenge me fight the very elements of Earth herself.
Come on, you have to see it too. Like, that, come on. You gotta see what I'm saying here. What's going on, guys? It is your boy Cash. It is now time to do a guide on Vivian. I'm going to definitely be pumping out a little bit more guides. I'm getting a little bit used to my work schedule, and I really want to get back into doing guides because I haven't done a guide in a while. But before I go into that, I've been saying that we are going to do every single day. So even if it's like frozen in time, that these 10 summons, you know, it'd be cool for people to watch this months later and be like, what the heck happened? This is part of the actual 1-year anniversary, so we're getting 10 free summons. So I want to do them every single day, you know, so if something crazy happens, you know, we get to see something cool, or maybe nothing happens, you know. But right now, currently, in the Covenant summons, you can get Moonlight characters. So, you know, wanted to have these recorded, you know, on every video that comes out. Hey, at least last time we got 2. Oh, there goes Arrowell. That was actually a Moonlight 3-star. But looks like we're not going to be lucky today. But maybe in the... Oh, could you... Maybe I'll just shut up. Oh! Oh, my! Oh, super my. Oh! Oh no, I turned off the voices for the skit, so I couldn't hear us talk. Tenebria is actually gonna be buffed, and she is a mage, so this is funny that we're doing Vivian. And funny enough, actually I could show you guys, just for sake. I was actually looking at Tenebria, my Tenebria guide. Not trying to segue or anything, but I was actually looking at my Tenebria guide because I was trying to figure out, oh, how did I do the intro on that? How long was it? I wanted to see how long my intro was on this video, and that's just kind of funny that I just got Tenebria in game. Anyway, you guys are not here for that. You're here for a guide on Vivian. But you know, it's just kind of happy to see it. Ooh, like a little girl. Well, she is a little girl. Anyway, let us talk about Vivian, magical scholar and city lord of Witch Haven, the city of sorcerers, and all that good jazz. Crappy memory imprint. I hate these. I feel like all nat 5s should just have it like it's all circle, even though it's a triangle. It's also not a triangle, it's a diamond, but whatever. You know, it is 2 o'clock in the morning, so please forgive my stupidity. And we're going to be looking at this like we always do. We're going to first go over the preview stats, and we're going to look at these base stats, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to compare it to other characters in her same genre to get a glimpse of what she's supposed to do. So we have attack at 1228, health is at 4370, speed is at 115, defense 662. We also can see here that the awakening is going to give us an additional crit chance, which is awesome. We'll see in a second why that's a good thing, and everything else is the same. Now, if you guys don't know, Vivian is actually a cleave unit. She specializes in killing characters AoE. We're going to compare her stat to is Vildred. Vildred has more attack than she does, more health than she does, more speed than she does, but he gets less crit chance. A little bit unfair to compare it to Ludwig because he's like the ultimate cleaver, but of course he also has more attack than she does, less health, less speed. Why am I telling you this? The reason why I'm showing you guys the base stats in comparison to other characters, Vivian is given slightly lower attack even than Vildred. She does have a self buff of attack greater, so I feel like they didn't want to give her crazy attack because she already has a way of getting attack and then doing her cleave. Obviously with team manipulation, you can pretty much give her an attack buff. You can't currently give her an attack greater, and then let her cleave. She pretty much needs a little bit of setup. Once you give her a little setup, she will go. With speed of 115, you can definitely get her to go second, if not first, but her going first would be to set up another cleave unit, and that's kind of not the purpose of bringing Vivian. She is meant to cleave. So you have to have someone faster than her, and she has to be just good enough to go after your setup units, depending on how many you feel like running. Now with that out the way, let's go into the skills. So here we go, we got the S1, Vitality Drain. Smashes the enemy with a rock, increases the caster's combat readiness by 10%. A critical hit will increase the caster's combat readiness by an additional 10%. So if it crits, you're getting 20% combat readiness. Sweet! And if you max it out, it is a 30% combat readiness push. Really, really good in general. Like if I were just to say, it's just nice to have, because every time you attack, you're gonna have high crit on this character. You're gonna be pretty much getting a 30% combat readiness boost on your autos, which is really good. You're definitely going to want to Molagora this at least to level 4, so you at least have the 15% combat readiness, and then 30 if it crits. Really cool animation. Another reason why I really thought that she looked like Storm is that she has this really, really cool animation, like she's controlling nature. And obviously the next one is the Thunder God's Cry. Another reason is attacks all enemies with a thunderstorm. Activates Thunder God's Cry again when an enemy is defeated. Each sequential Thunder God's Cry activated this way deals decreased damage and can be activated up to 3 times. So this skill, pretty cool. The bags are going to be a terrible representation of how really good the skill is, especially as a cleave in PvE and in PvP. The best thing about it is that it kind of acts like Vildred's, and one of the reasons why I brought up Vildred is because Vildred kills at least one thing and then his S2 passive triggers. It's just a way of looking at, like, you do the skill, it does good damage first, and then a lesser damage skill happens afterwards, except with Arbiter Vildred, where the skill actually gets stronger on the second time you whatever. Anyway, let's say this one first does 3,000 damage, the next one's gonna do 2,000 damage, and then the last one will do 1,000 damage. So your hopes are that pretty much the first instance, when you first click it, boom, is going to kill. You're hoping that the first instance of damage is going to kill and severely weaken the other targets, and then afterwards that the second one will kill and clean up the rest of them. And then it'd be really odd and it'd be really strange if you actually need that third one to finish it out. That probably means you're lacking some DPS or something like that. You can also soulburn this for 10 souls, really good, to boost up the damage of the skill, which is, you know, making sure you get the kill. And she's a mage, so you can run the artifacts, which we'll go there later. Don't just be patient, damn it. You know, the artifact's my favorite part, but we have to see the S3. But before we go into the S3, now I wanted to talk about the Molagora of this move is that it's all damage, all DPS. When you Molagora this up, this is your main DPS skill. It's on a 2-turn cooldown. You also get a 2 souls when it activates. It is your bread and butter move, so yes, I think if you're gonna Molagora anything, you still would Molagora this first. You know, if you don't have a billion Molagoras just sitting in the farm, and then you can go for this, and then this, and then this one I'll just show it to you. It's one skill cooldown, so yes, in the grand scheme of things you want to get that eventually, but Vivian's whole turn is either going to be set up from her allies, but in the grand scheme of PvP you're probably not going to have that much time to S3 and then get another turn to S2. You're probably going to have other people set you up, then you can S2 on your first turn with Vivian and clean house. So you want to max this out first. Lowering the turns of this is cute, but it's not necessary. So you're gonna go S2, finish that out, S1, possibly get it at least to that +4, and then you can come back and maybe lower this by a turn, and or just finish this out so you got more damage coming your way. That is your Molagora game plan. I don't know what to call it, but that's how I would do it, and that's how I suggest that you do it as well too. And we're done with that crap, so let's look at the S3 animation, pretty much for the thumbnail. Yes. I do find it weird that she does say that, destruction answer my call. In her story, there was nothing really that implicated that she's like speaking to some type of god, but it almost, I guess that's how they summon things in this. I don't know. Let's hear it again. Unleash her power, like it looks like she's getting blessed. I don't know. It's really weird because her whole story was like they're all a bunch of sorcerers, but she banned summoning. But like, I don't know. 3 turns immunity to the whole squad, 3 turns attack buff to anyone that's not her, and then obviously a 3-turn attack greater than for her. So yes, you're gonna sit there. You can S2 regardless of whether it kills or not. You could probably still get another S2 off with the same buff that is here before it runs out. And depending on what artifacts you use, you can definitely by 100% do multiple S2s while your S3 is still up. Obviously that's like Etika Scepter BS that might go down. So that's pretty much her skills. She's not really a complex character. She is a cleave unit. She's supposed to S2 and kill things, whether it's S3 into S2 or you get a setup in S2, and that's pretty much the end of it. Next up is going to be gear. How will we settle this character out? And I'm going to do something a little bit different and just kind of to speed up the gear aspect of it, because the sets are not that important. They are important, don't get me wrong. It's mostly about the stats. So what I want to at least say that you definitely want to have her critting. You want to maximize attack as much as possible. The only reason why I would even think that you would go with lifesteal is if you're trying to have her as some type of farm unit. You don't really need to. She's a cleave unit. A cleave unit are not there to farm for you. They are there to kill everything and then it's dead. Lifesteal is more for sustaining. So this 20% healing aspect thing that you're trying to go for, you're losing out on the 4 set of attack. Just from like those 2 differences, you can get 35% extra attack or you can get lifesteal. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying by that. So you have to pretty much run those numbers, especially based on the substats that you have. Like something like this, you actually should pretty much not have any effectiveness. She has absolutely no debuffs, and this is the problem that I have when I rune up Bloodblade Karen, who I definitely forgot as an AoE cleaver. Please forgive me, please God forgive me. She's another one that I've always found hard to rune because I'll have so much runes with effectiveness and she does not need it. Like this is like a semi-perfect attack rune for her, but it has effectiveness, and as you can see it's plus 14 and it has a couple rolls in it. This would be something I would automatically have to give to Sigurdet or Viken or something of that nature. Like I cannot give this to Vivian. I mean I could, it's just wasted stats. You want to definitely get your attack, HP, speed, crit chance, crit damage up. Same thing with, actually I would even say the speed set. If you want her to go first, remember you are gimping her damage by that. Like I said, 25% increase, or you're gonna go with 35% attack or crit damage. But if you're going speed, you want her to go first. You want her to go first and she doesn't do her job, then she's pretty much a wasted slot. Next up is my favorite part, Etika Scepter. When you actually get your turn and do a move, you can actually lower the cooldown, and obviously her thing is a 2-turn cooldown. If she gets a turn, Etika Scepter proc, you can pretty much use it again. This is, I would say, an option for people that don't have the highest of DPS. They probably need the S3 first and then S2. So you have to know the difference of what your Vivian is doing. Also pretty good for if you're doing the Banshee runs. She's obviously really good in Banshee because she can clear out the little things. If one dies, she'll keep hitting the rest of them, but you definitely shouldn't be using Etika Scepter if you're trying to use her as a PvP cleave unit. Next up, we're gonna have Time Matters, and the way that it works actually on Vivian is kind of crazy, and it's really cool. Only really for PvE. Obviously, you're not gonna be using this in PvP at all, but in PvE, depending on how long the dungeon is and depending on how many little minions there are, as it states, reduces skill cooldown by 1 turn when an enemy is killed and increases the damage of the next attack by 18%, 36 when it's maxed. It's always double. So I'll just prepare like a little demonstration of how that works. So it's pretty cool.
Eventually. God,
it is so hard to show off this artifact without killing everything. I'm trying to nerf her damage so much so she doesn't kill both at the same time. But here we go. This is like the 7th time trying to showcase Time Matters. We need to kill them individually so you guys can see. So right now it's on a 4-turn cooldown. I am praying that it kills 1, then 2. We'll make it 2, and then when we go into the next stage, it should be 1. Please, Vivian, don't kill both. Or none at all.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Okay, here we go. Take number 85. Here we go. It's 5 turns. Time Matters. It's gonna kill the guy in the back. Should kill another one, And then if it's, the math should speak for itself. I'm tired of doing this.
How dare you? You'll regret facing me.
Okay, so it killed 2. I can't see the cooldowns right now. We're gonna move to the next stage, and then hopefully one of my characters will get a turn. It killed 2, and then the turn passes, so it should be -3. Boom, it's -3. Also, if you're paying attention to it, every S2 that occurs that she does give you 2 souls. So really good for PvE. It is a soul gatherer. I mentioned it briefly earlier in the video, but just thought I'd mention it again. Holy crap, that was annoying. But obviously in regular PvE, it's going to be easy for you to constantly trigger that, and every time it triggers, it's beneficial, even if it kills off the S1. But just want to show you how it works with the S2. Dignus Orb. Now that we actually have a better understanding of how she's supposed to be used, this is also kind of a weird one, because yes, she can S3 gain a barrier based off her attack, making her a little bit safer, because now she'll have a decent barrier, she'll have immunity, she'll have attack, then she's supposed to go and then she'll kill everything. And that was the point, you might as well just go with a more offensive artifact. You just kind of get it out the way and just kill everything, maybe possibly on the first turn, on Vivian's first turn. Yes, in extended fights these are better because it will keep her alive longer, but that's only where that's it. You have to, I guess, be doing raid, or you have to be doing maybe Banshee, but at that same time then you're gonna have to keep switching your artifact every time you go back and forth, and that just seems annoying. And that's a gold, it's gonna cost you gold to do that. So I probably wouldn't put Dignus Orb on her. I would probably just gonna put like Portrait of the Saviors or something. Tegahel's Ancient Book is a really good option because of the fact that even at level 1 it gives you the 10 souls, and that is enough to actually soul burn. So if you just have gotten this artifact, it's already good. 20 souls will be if you're trying to have someone else in the team do something. Common combo that I've seen on YouTube was pretty much like Tywin. Tywin does his S3, he uses the 20 soul burns, get an extra turn to S2. Vivian, that gives Vivian attack and a crit chance buff plus combat readiness. Vivian then sweeps the team. So that's pretty much why you would put Tagahel's on her. So that's, again, very super combo based. That's all up to you. If you don't have that combo, you only need to do this. Radiant Forever is actually not that bad, obviously PvE exclusive. Her S2 is going to do good damage, and the fact that this is going to allow it to do even more damage. This is a challenge artifact, so you should have this maxed out if you did the event properly or farmed it or whatever. To do 50% extra damage to boss and elite type monsters is actually really good. And as we know, if they get a kill, she will keep triggering it, and that's going to be pretty good damage. Pretty much the same idea here with the Tear of the Desert. Increase the caster attack by 2%, and since this was a event one, you should have it up to this 4% maxed out. After attacking all enemies, it can happen up to 5 times. It was a 20% attack boost. Portrait of the Saviors was one that I mentioned earlier. It's one of the best cleave artifacts. If you were around during the collab event, definitely gonna use Portrait of the Saviors. Does more damage, 20% more damage when they have full HP, which is in the beginning of the match. It's like the cleave favorite. If like, it should actually come when you summon a cleave unit, it should just like come right in the packaging. Portrait of the Saviors. So yes, it's, if you want her to definitely be your cleave unit, win arena fights really fast, get the setup, get the combat ready boosters ready to go with the attack buff early. Vivian on Portrait of the Saviors, insta profit. If you weren't around that event, Exorcist Tonfas is still a pretty good option, just a little bit less overall damage dealt than the Portrait of the Saviors, but this one is always available in the game. So if you don't have that, you missed out on the event, you started playing the game late, this 3-star artifact is just as good. So that is Vivian, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you guys think about this character overall. I am so excited to use her. I'm primarily not going to be using her as a PvP unit. I'm going to more or less be using her as a PvE unit. I've been looking for a way to stabilize my Banshee runs, and I think she is going to super do that. The fact that she does have the immunity on the S3, attack greater is cool and all, but the fact that she gives herself a decent attack boost and gives all my characters an attack boost, it's going to allow me to possibly even run it without a healer. They might be able to DPS it a lot quicker, especially Vivian possibly taking out the Banshees when she does the split. So that's what I'm really happy for Vivian for, but I've also seen a lot of video evidence. There's like tons of videos of Vivian in arena, set up, get her with the combat readiness push, and then just annihilate. So Depending on how you want to use her, it's going to be easy street. She's a very easy character to gear, in my opinion. She's just a DPS cleaver. Doesn't need the greatest amount of speed. She just needs to not be like super slow. A ton of attack, some crit, done. So she's just really a solid unit. I'm happy that we got a mage also, and that opens up the artifacts that are going to be on your team. You know, rangers and mages were probably the most underrepresented characters in the game. It's been run by warriors, thieves, and soul weavers, and not even really tanks. Tanks also need a little boost, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think about Vivian. If there's anything that I left out in this guide, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. I read every comment and usually reply or give it like a thumbs up or a heart or whatever, so you guys know that I'm looking. Anything I could do to push the community along. But there's other ways that I can push the community along, is by telling you guys a very secret, important message. And that's every day at the Kashino is your lucky day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.